Green Bay's front office is a bunch of liar, pants on fire as Aaron Rodgers calls them out and embarrasses them this week on the Pat McAfee show. For those of you that don't know, there's a bunch of drama between Green Bay front office management there and Aaron Rodgers and what is going to be done with his future in the NFL. We're going to go through a quick breakdown of that before we get into this article here of why there's a holdup between Aaron Rodgers being traded to the Jets. But let me give you a brief background of what's going on. So Aaron Rodgers ended the season, didn't know if he was going to play football again or not. He went on this darkness retreat where he went and spent 4 days, or I think it was 5 days, 4 nights in a hole in this little room, just in complete darkness because he wanted to meditate and he wanted to think about his career. He said going into that he was 90% sure he was going to retire. And then when he came out, he's like, no, I'm 100% in. I want to play another season. He thought that season was going to be with the Green Bay Packers because that's what they had told him. Well, come to find out, when he was out of the darkness retreat, while he was in the darkness retreat, I should say, Green Bay had some other plans, and they start leaking out all this stuff about Aaron being difficult, Aaron being dramatic, Aaron making it all about himself, and that they're really ready to move on from Aaron Rodgers. He said that this shocked him, but hey, whatever, that's business. He says he's the greatest Packer of all time, and he's fine with moving on, but he wants to play elsewhere. And on the Pat McAfee show this week, he went out and said that he wants to play for the New York Jets. Well, what's interesting is before the Friday before Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show, he had told Green Bay that he wants to be traded to the Jets, that he wants to play another season, and that if it's not with them, then go ahead and trade him to the Jets. He will play for the Jets. Green Bay leaked out there that there was a deal done with the Jets. So Green Bay's management front office has said, we have a deal in place with the Jets. We're just waiting for Aaron to give us the okay. That's weird because Aaron is claiming, no, that's not true. I'm ready to play. I've told them that I'm ready to play. So he comes out on the Pat McAfee show. He says, hey, I'm ready to play for the Jets. I plan on playing for the Jets. It's actually all on Green Bay. Green Bay keeps leaking out all this stuff that I'm holding everything up. No, I'm not. I told them I'm ready to go play for the Jets. So who's telling the truth? Is it Green Bay who leaked the story that they have a deal done in place and Aaron Rodgers is just the one holding everything up? Or is it Aaron who says, I told them I'm ready to play for the Jets. I'm announcing it publicly here on your show that I'm ready to play for the Jets. They haven't traded me yet. And if it were true what Green Bay was saying, that they had a deal in place ready to go with the Jets, just needed to sign off by Aaron Rodgers, then they would have traded him during that while he was still live on air on the Pat McAfee show. Once they got the public confirmation, they would have done, if they had a deal ready to go, it would have been signed and sent over to the Jets. Now, maybe the Jets backed out at that point, but I think that's highly unlikely. So once again, Green Bay, who tries to paint Aaron Rodgers as a diva and very dramatic and all about himself, which he might be, seems like they were lying. Because why was he not traded? And he still is yet to be traded. We're 4 days away, or we're 4 days since he announced that he wants to go play for the Jets. So to me, it seems like they were lying and maybe they were bluffing. I don't know why they were doing that. Some are saying that maybe it's because they want more. And so that's where we're going to get into this article here real quick of like what's holding everything up. This is up on ESPN. Why completing the Aaron Rodgers trade won't be easy for the Jets and Packers, which is not what the Packers, once again, I'm going back to the Packers. They told us they had a deal in place ready to go. They just needed Aaron Rodgers' approval. Let's see. So it says Aaron Rodgers wants to leave Green Bay Packers and play for the Jets. The Jets want that too. The Packers are willing to make that trade happen. So what's holding it up? It's a complex transaction, perhaps unprecedented. And what they're saying here is you're trading Aaron Rodgers over to, a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. Yes, he's going to be 40 next season. So that's kind of an issue there too. The issue with the Jets is they don't know how many years. Are they going to get Aaron Rodgers 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? They don't know. And the Packers are saying, well, we're giving you a Hall of Famer. So here's a Hall of Famer and we want a good return. We can't just give him away for nothing. It says, could he just walk away after a year? That's why the Jets don't want to part ways with their 2023 first-round draft pick, and they shouldn't. The Jets would be insane to be trading the 13th overall pick in this year's draft. They would absolutely be insane to do it, even for Aaron Rodgers, because you're taking on that contract. It's not a light contract. And yes, you have the cap space for it, but still, it's not a light contract. And like it's saying, you don't know how long you're getting Aaron Rodgers for. And guess what? Green Bay wants to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. They want to be done with this. They want to move on. I thought they would have just had something very, very simple in place. Get a second rounder, get a next year first rounder. I mean, they are going to give away a first round. It's not going to be this year, maybe next year. But let's see. Where do we get? At the same time, let's see. It says at the same time, the Packers don't want to trade a franchise icon for a second or third day draft pick. Why not? Why not? You get a second round, it would be an early second round pick this year draft for Aaron Rodgers, I think. And you don't have to, you free up $50 million in cap space. You don't have that contract. You get to move. Why don't you take that? Why don't you take it a second and a third? Why don't you take a second and a fourth? I mean, why not? I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but remember, we're also talking about Aaron Rodgers at 40 years old. Yeah, 2 seasons, not this season, but the previous 2 seasons, he was the back-to-back NFL MVP. Cool. The history shows us Tom Brady's the outlier. History shows us that quarterback after the age 40 doesn't work out that well in the NFL. So Jets are taking a huge risk on them. Huge risk. And I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is worth or to the Jets. I think they'd be a huge mistake to trade that 13th overall pick. They can use that either with drafting a player or trade assets. I mean, the Jets nailed the draft last year. They not only had the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive rookie of the year, they also had the odds-on favorite offensive rookie of the year in Breece Hall before he tore his ACL. So they had 2 players that were the type of caliber players to be offensive rookie of the year, and they did it in the same draft. And they did it without having a good quarterback, a wide receiver 1 offensive rookie of the year on the Jets without them having good quarterback play. That says a lot. And then you got Sauce Gardner, of course, on the other side. I mean, they've drafted really, really well over there. So, they can get a little loose with some of these draft picks, but you do not trade away that 13th overall pick. But this is going on talking about, it feels like there's, talking about the what's going to make it get done. Like, and this goes on and on. You can read it for yourself. I don't want to read directly from it, at least the whole thing. But bottom line is Aaron Rodgers is going to be moving on from Green Bay. It just depends on what. All right, what's it going to take? What's it going to cost? Is it going to cost a first rounder the Jets going to ultimately fold? Or, is it going to be something more reasonable, a second and a third round pick or something like that? I think the Jets would be insane for trading the 13th overall pick, but I want to hear from you. Comment in this, comment below, whether you're watching this YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, wherever you're watching this, Twitter. Let me know what you think. What should the Jets be willing to trade for Aaron Rodgers? And when do you think this is going to happen? Do you think it should be the 13th overall pick? I mean, I honestly, if the Jets were offering that, this deal would be done, in my opinion. It'd be done already, because that would just be way more than enough to get the deal done. But let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about Green Bay's front office. It seems like they're not being fully honest with us in the media in painting Aaron Rodgers as this massive diva holding up this trade. Maybe he is a diva, but not when it comes to this trade. Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel wherever you're watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.